Good day all, my name is Andrew Coutts and it's a pleasure to welcome you again to the 6th episode now of our podcast series. In this episode, we explore the impact of the digital revolution in our insurance industry. To talk us through the digital solutions needed for a digital age, I'm very pleased to be joined by our Santam Group CIO, Kevin Wright, and our Chief Digital Officer, Hannes van Vuuren. Welcome Kevin and Hannes, thank you for your time. It's really good to have you on board. I want to kick off, Kevin, if I may, with yourself. And the first question really, why should intermediaries not fear a digital age?
Hi, Andrew. I think for intermediaries, technology is often positioned more as a competitor than that of a colleague. And some intermediaries have even seen the fourth industrial revolution that may render them redundant in what they do. Technology is really there to facilitate and assist people and to help them guide themselves through some form of a plan that they might have and be able to give them more information. So I think we will never replace the intermediary. We will never make sure that people have no personal relationships. That's the one thing that's come out of our COVID period is people want personal relationships. And thus there'll always be a bit of a hybrid model where people will have both technology and human interaction available. The best is to get both to work. Very often clients want information available 24/7. And thus the intermediary might not be available and clients can still get that information that it is available and they can get it and then they can answer a lot of the questions themselves or their staff can find that and answer the questions themselves. And the younger generation now, especially having to learn on the current basis with COVID and so forth, are self-taught and they know where to go find information. So the ability to place lots of information on a self-service basis, I think is going to be key going forward for the sort of practices that people have. But I don't believe we'll ever be able to replace that unique advice that people have and those unique, difficult questions that often need to be answered when you're taking risk or giving somebody advice on how to take risk.
Thank you, Kevin. I share the sentiment. I think the power of man and machine working together is really an exciting opportunity for our industry and for the service that it can result for our customers. Hannes, if I can bring you in here, welcome to you as well. Thank you for your time. The use of low-cost digital platforms, obviously it can enable intermediaries to exponentially reach and access new markets as well. What can intermediaries do to be at the forefront of these changes from your perspective?
Afternoon, Andrew. Thanks for the opportunity to chat for a little bit. Andrew, I think maybe before we jump into technology and the technology elements, I think there are some other considerations to help in this technology transformation journey. Commitment to new levels of professionalism, continuous improvement on technical risk and insurance knowledge will definitely provide the foundation then to fully exploit the opportunities that technology can offer the organization. However, having said that, if we look at technology, then a good place to start will be to adopt technologies that can provide reach, to help you access new markets, to drive lead sourcing, and to allow integration of product and service solutions. And of course, technology can increase efficiency and linked to this can empower clients to do self-service and in turn reduce administration costs and provide that 24-hour engagement that Kevin referred to earlier with clients. And if you can offer that 24/7 support to clients, you improve their experience. Technology can also assist to really understand the client and offer the ability to become more client-centric. And that will provide you with a rich set of data that can be managed and used to drive your cross and upsell offerings, can help you to anticipate and mitigate risk and ultimately provide that added value that we want to bring to our customers. And then finally, technology can be used to ensure compliance, which is always very important, through better structures and record keeping around your client engagements. It can provide the quality management information that you need and the structure then for your sales and renewal management.
Thank you, Hannes. I think that's great insight. I'm also always struck. We often hear the arguments that digital might replace the human, but you make the point so well, a platform and a tool is often as good as the advice or the information put into that platform and tool. And that's where working together can add so much value. But there's no doubt that with these tools, the efficiency play and the reach is things that are now really things to be capitalized on by all of us in our industry. Kevin, if I can come back to you, please. What is the Santam approach and strategy for digital capabilities?
Yes, Andrew, at Santam, we've got a dedicated digital team looked after by Hannes, our Chief Digital Officer, who looks at all our digital capabilities, and we sort of look at it from three primary aspects. Our first is the digital capability for intermediaries. A couple of years ago, we would get simple questions like, we want a copy of a policy document and it wasn't available and you've got to deal with the query through a contact center. Today, that all happens online through our broker portal. And thus, we try to reduce admin time in the brokerage. So we try to build efficiencies for the broker so they can have more time to find new clients and service their clients with the value-adding things rather than drudge sort of admin work. So our first couple of years of converting digitally has been that, to make it easier for the brokers to operate and have lots of information at their fingertips. Then we've built capabilities for our clients, particularly in the younger generation, and we've got to be careful what we call young now, because even some of us in our 50s have been working in PCs all our life. We've built capabilities for people to self-service. There's many people that after hours want to research information, want to find information in their own right, and then when they've got that information, they then want to speak to their broker so that they can speak from a little bit of authority. We're all starting to do it, even if we're not feeling that well nowadays. We Google, the symptoms we got, and we try to get some answer that we can talk to our doctor about. So in a digital world, there's this expectation that service is easy, it's fast, it's available. And we're always trying to emphasize the value of the brokers because it's that uniqueness of that additional piece of advice that people need that they might lose if they don't have their broker. And then thirdly, we've got our own internal digital capabilities in Santam. We are close to 4,000 odd people that work in Santam. We have to try to keep consistency in our information. We have lots of people to train. We try to look to see how we can train people faster and make sure we get more consistent answers. So we're building our own artificial intelligence inside the company so that we can ensure that underwriting decisions are consistent across our various parts of the business, that people have the right information at their fingertips and they don't have to phone around and ask a friend or email somebody to get that information, but that information is be able to be searched within our own environments in a natural language sort of world and be able to find the right answers. So those are sort of the roadmaps that we've been doing that can help us deliver regular features. I'm quite excited by the fact that we're sort of going into the next era now where we're trying to, you'll see coming out of our portals is a large amount of things with the ability to be able to sell and make the sales process easier. We sort of think we've buttoned down a large amount of the admin processes, and now we're trying to see how do we make that sales process easy, which I think is just an exciting time for us at Santam to be going through, how we can pre-populate lots of data and make what used to be maybe a 3 or 4 minute transaction down to a 1 or a 2 minute transaction. That's some of the real exciting stuff we're starting to do.
Kevin, thanks very much for sharing. It is a really exciting journey, and Santam, in my view, now has some of the tools to really enable it to differentiate itself in the market, and we're really looking forward as a business to bring these capabilities to you, our intermediaries, to really differentiate our value. I think it's a very exciting time to be in business. Hannes, back to you, please. One of these platforms that in particular Santam has spent a lot of time and effort on is the broker portal. And we've seen its utilization also particularly during lockdown, adding particular benefits. Please, can you share with us some of the detail on this platform and on your view on it going forward?
Yeah, I think Broker Portal is close to our heart in Santam. It's a platform that has evolved over the last 7 years and has become our most used system in Santam, where we have more than 4,000 users a day logging onto that platform. In 2019, we went through quite a big upgrade where we modernized that platform, and that allowed us the ability then to start to deliver more features more often to our brokers. It also increases stability of the platform. We haven't had downtime or any significant issues on the platform for quite some time. And like I said, it really gave us that opportunity to accelerate the frequency of our updates so that we can start taking the value to our intermediaries much quicker. We also tried to make the interface simpler and easier to use. As Kevin said, we wanted transactions go through faster, and we will continue with significant investment on this platform. Kevin once again referred to the quoting capabilities that we are going to be launching quite soon. That will allow our intermediaries to do a quote for vehicle. We will start much quicker and effectively. And we're also bringing some of that artificial intelligence capabilities we use internally to the broker portal as well. And we'll link it with a quoting capability to help answer questions that would normally have required a call to the contact center. So maybe just to end off on Broker Portal, just some of those key features that we have on Broker Portal is that confirmation of cover letters, border letters. You can do contact detail updates. You can quote on an existing policy for vehicle. You can have a policy schedule with a date stamp, commercial and personal policy summaries. You can register your claims there. And for motor glass, there's straight-through processing on motor glass. And then coming soon is a feature we're really quite excited about, is that quoting capability for new motor.
Thank you, Hannes, very much indeed. Kevin, maybe last question for you, if I may, please. One thing I've come to learn in technology is that you never really arrived. It's certainly a journey. So just as a closing comment from yourself, can you wrap up for us and give us a view, please? What does the future look like for Santam's digital capabilities?
Yeah, Andrew, we keep enhancing it. We rolled out the replacement of our core back-end systems a number of years ago. We went live earlier this month with our new claims management system. Many of the brokers, you would not have experienced it yet because we're in pilot now. We've done about 1,600 claims so far, since the 3rd of August when we went live. And we will start releasing that to you shortly, probably early October. Some of you will start experiencing that. And we will continue to modernize our platforms. I think the platforms will evolve. The technology keeps evolving. And the ability to offer self-service capabilities to brokers, to clients, through apps, or online through some form of a portal to make you more empowered to do your role and to manage the risk for the clients is what we're all about. Those ecosystems will evolve and you will see some exciting things coming in the next few years. And we will always try to keep it relevant. We watch the global market. We research all over the world what people are doing to see how we can stay up to date with the things that are relevant to our client base and make sure our client base has some of the best digital capabilities that there is around.
Thank you, Kevin. And to your team as well. It is really great that Santam is a business that can hold itself up there amongst all of those around the world, around its ability to develop and roll out these digital capabilities. So we really do value that insight. Thank you. Hannes, maybe just the last question for yourself, if I may, please. We've talked about a lot of things, and sometimes it's easy to shake your head and say, where to from here? So maybe just to close out from a more practical perspective. If a broker has not yet done anything with regard to the digital development of their practice, what are the first few things you would recommend they immediately go out there to do to get the most benefit from a digital world?
Andrew, so to answer that, I think probably about 4 points I would make. The first one is almost like a back to basics for a moment. Something as simple as fast, reliable internet connection to an intermediary office, as well as a stable Wi-Fi setup, is a non-negotiable, and that is probably your most critical prerequisite to move into the digital world. The second prerequisite in my mind would be to just, whenever you start this journey, to build security from the beginning. The moment you start expanding your digital capabilities, you have to ensure that the required security is in place. And we've seen this recent spate of data breaches, most recently the big news around Experian and the data that was lost there. The third thing I would look at would then be to ensure that digital presence. At a basic level, this could be having a website with your contact details, call back or contact me and a request quote capability. But you can expand that over time to then include a presence on social media platforms like Facebook. And eventually you can do digital advertising, Google search, Google AdWords, those sort of things. And then the fourth one is around CRM, what we call CRM. It's customer relationship management. And it's really to ensure you have the quality data to personalize your client experience. And that will also then allow for that cross and upsell opportunities. And I think it's just important to note that with some of the new computing paradigms like cloud computing, there are a variety of options available for these platforms, and it won't require an upfront investment, and it can be done on a subscription basis. So it's actually quite simple to buy into these capabilities. And then lastly, once again, maybe just a little bit away from the technology, but keep your processes simple and efficient. Optimize where you can. Because digital does not mean it has to be complex and cumbersome.
Hannes, thank you very much. Great insight. And Kevin, to you as well, we really appreciate your time this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our 6th podcast. I hope you really enjoyed engaging with some of our top tech people in our business, showing both our future strategy and some of the benefits of really modernizing our practice to be relevant in the digital world. I wish you all great success in your practices. As always, please share with us any information, any questions, any queries you have. We really value your engagement. Keep safe. Thank you for your support to Santam, and thank you for all that you do for our clients. All the best.